being someone that you're not. That's one of the things we talked about. I think you were relating it to your time in college.
Yeah. My time in college was weird because I didn't know what to do with myself. Like my whole identity growing up was football, right? Like, so my grandfather played in the NFL. He coached for the NFL. He's got multiple Super Bowl rings. His son played at Maryland, has a national championship with them. My other cousin went to Alabama. My other cousin went to Wake Forest. Like, the other one goes to Maryland, all football scholarships. Like, the whole family is diehard football. I get to college and I'm like, I'm so tired of this. Like, I don't want to do football anymore. Like, it was too serious in high school. I just want to like leave it alone. Like, I just wasn't in love with it the same way that I obviously am with like a jiu-jitsu or a bow hunting or whatever it is. And so during that period of time, I was like, shit, I gotta figure out what to do with my time. Like, I was one of those people who was like, after class, it was like, oh, I get to do nothing now. And I was excited for that, but nothing just turned into like partying.
An idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Yeah. And so I like just got into partying for 2 years. And then I was like, oh my Lord, like I'm wasting my life. Like I hate this. We're going to the same bars, hanging around with the same people. Like, I was like, this is what the recipe for being a loser looks like in 30 years. And like, I looked, and you're 18 at a bar, greatest thing in the world. You're like, this is awesome. Like, you're hanging out with like 35-year-old dudes, like who seem cool. They're telling you about their businesses, and you're like 18. You're a dumbass. You're like, this is what cool people look like. Until you're like, wait a second, why are you at the same bar as me? Why are you talking to an 18-year-old right now? You weirdo, get away from me. You know what I mean? Like, and you start to realize these things, and you're like, oh man, like I gotta turn my life around. I gotta surround myself with just better people. And so during that time, I realized that I was spending like the first 2 years of my college experience just like trying to fit in because I didn't know what I was supposed to be. And I was just doing a lot of what I ultimately like never enjoyed or like ever saw myself doing. And that's when jiu-jitsu comes into the picture. That's when I started to kind of search for more out of my life. And that's kind of what has led me onto the path. And like, I feel it's like my, really like my freedom of like being myself. Because I found that thing and I realized that I could do whatever I wanted to do. And I just had to put the same skills again that I learned here to anything. I could become anything that I want. I was always confident, but I didn't really have anything to be confident about. Like, it was just made up, Now I can at least say like, hey, I've done hard things and I can achieve hard things. And I carry a different sense of confidence, a way less arrogant sense of confidence because of that.
And I have a question on that one. If you can be anything, why not just be a bum? Or be a loser? Why do you choose to push yourself to become a better person?
Well, because I think anyone can become a bum. Like, I think it's incredibly easy to become a bum. Like, it also gets old. I think I've lived that life. Like, I was a bum for 2-3 years in college. Like, luckily for me, it was just in college and it didn't happen later in life. Like, I think that's why some people go to college, is to get that out of their system, to be like, and maybe they don't even know that they're doing this. It could be like a subconscious thing that they're, experiencing, where it's like, you wake up hungover for the third day in a row and you're about to go drink again. And it's like, oh my Lord, like I don't want my life to look like this. Like, I hate this. I hate this feeling. I hate the way I'm depending on this thing for fun. Like I used to, like coming out of college, I used to think like the only way to have a social interaction was with a drink in your hand. Unless I had somebody that was, I was really good friends with. Like, if I was going to like a party or a networking event, it was like I had to have like 3 or 4 drinks just to get through that. Now I don't need any of those things, and it's a blessing, obviously. Like, I never had a problem. Like, I was never weird about it. Like, I was never showing up to work drunk or like doing anything like that. But you have this like crutch at this period of time, because you're just like, how do I function without it? Because I'm doing so much of it during that college experience.
Was having the drink in hand kind of a shield for the insecurities that you had inside?
Yeah.
Or hiding the fact that you don't know who you are?
Probably. Yeah. You could blame anything that you did on that. I think that's what a lot of college kids do. They can act a fool and then they can blame it on booze. And it probably is that, where it's like, hey, I actually don't know who I am. I don't know who I'm supposed to be at this party. You're trying to like talk to girls, you're trying to make friends, you're trying to like do all these like kind of challenging things for a young mind. and you're nervous, you're scared. Like, you know, it was the first time in my life that, again, like, things weren't coming easy. It was like maybe the first time that I was just like, man, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Like I had went to college and kind of basically just got dropped off at the front door. And then it's just like, all right, you're on your own now, figure it out. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't really know anyone here. I knew one guy. And I actually knew my fiance kind of, and we met up on like the first day of college. So I had like a few people that I knew, but like not intimately. And so you're just trying to fit in, you're trying to figure these things out. And, you know, you have a couple beers and all of a sudden things start getting a little bit easier. You're talking to people are more friendly to you. And then, you know, next thing you know, 4 years have gone by and you've spent every weekend just drinking at the same bar with the same people instead of learning like one skill. I can't tell you a single class I took in college, but I'm, you know, good friends with a lot of those people still. I'm not saying that it's a waste of time or that like I regret anything that I did in college, because it made me who I am. I needed to have those experiences to want to push forward and not be a bum.